Fish farming has become one of the fastest growing farming businesses, turning Nigeria into the second biggest aquaculture producer in Africa. And records from the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security shows that Nigeria is the leading country in the production of African catfish, leveraging on the great demand for these species. Here, the development of marine aquaculture represents a promising field for future expansion, among others. The availability of commercial feed pellets is one of the bottlenecks identified as mitigating against sustainable fish production, with a deficit of about 2.5 million tons of fish being imported. But national initiatives envision an expansion in the future to increase production through targeted initiatives. On Panorama today, we examine the issues surrounding aquaculture production in Nigeria and, of course, the way out. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ruth Aguele. Welcome. The Renewed Hope administration is set to commence another massive infrastructure project, now this time in the aviation sector, with the Federal Executive Council's approval for the comprehensive renovation of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos. State House correspondent Musbahuddin Wahab engages the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, on the need and prospects for the project.
Murtala Mohammed International Airport remains tall in Ikeja. But then, the stature of the airport inaugurated in 1979 can no longer effectively shoulder its responsibility as the busiest international gateway. Despite perpetual expansion over the years, giving birth to the Terminal 2, the biggest commercial city of the country is in dire need of not just a modern, but also a more efficient airport. And now, about 50 years after its inauguration, there is a renewed hope for its new look, with over a 700 billion naira FEC approval for a comprehensive renovation. The outgrown road network, outdated building structures, and the equipment in the airport's two terminals are to make way for modernization.
We want to make the airport a smart airport, an airport that meets modern international standards, an airport that can compete with any type of airport, modern airport you see in the world, an airport that can rightly project Nigeria's image, an airport that can be an enabler for investments in the economic sector, that can be an enabler for tourism in the tourism sector.
Coming with total exterior and interior enhancements, as well as two different ring roads, the proposed new main buildings promises a completely new experience for the users.
We want to now put a new ring bridge, now two ring roads around the airport. One is for arrival, one is for departure. And those ring roads, we have bridges. One bridge will take you up to the second floor of that Terminal B, I'm talking about Terminal 2, where the bridge will just pass by the side of that glass door at the top. And they will now open the glass door as an entrance or different entrances. That's the drop-off area, and you are walking it straight into departure. So you don't have to carry your bags up again, the lift or the carousels. And that thing will go around the airport. It will also connect Terminal 1. That same road will connect Terminal 1 and come back again to the Oshodi Expressway.
The existing canopies, boarding fingers, and apron at the Terminal 2 are also to be upgraded.
Terminal 2, once you drive in and you walk in, there's only one door in a big international airport like that. And that was a design error. How will you have a massive international airport with one door? What if there's a stampede? And that's why you see a long line. Sometimes in the rush hour, you see customs and immigration check or customs checking people's bags. And because there are no multiple doors, there's only one door. You see a long queue going, to the outside.
With the funding guaranteed under the dedicated Renewed Hope Infrastructure Fund, the actualization of this aviation infrastructure is set for 22 months after mobilization to site. In Abuja, Musbahuddin Wahab, NC News.
The Remi Tinubu Support Organization has appointed trustees from Jigawa State to drive the First Lady's Senator Oluremi Tinubu's vision of taking the Renewed Hope initiative to the grassroots. This initiative, of course, aims to focus on uplifting women, youth and children across Nigeria. Awal Mohammed reports.
The Renewed Hope initiative has so far committed about 9.4 billion naira to health interventions and humanitarian projects with the goal of improving lives nationwide. During the presentation of appointment letters, National Coordinator UC Buba said the organization is expanding its reach to promote Senator Remi Tinubu's leadership ideals and grassroots development agenda.
With the wife of the president, she's doing a lot. She's doing much to the country. She's doing much to the masses. So we have to enlighten them to know that it is through the Renewed Hope initiative of Senator Oluremi Tinubu.
Barrister Yakubu Ruba San, appointed as the national trustee, described the role as an honor and pledged full commitment to advancing the First Lady's vision.
For this wrestle, I am committed. I will do the very best I can to ensure its success nationwide, not only in Jigawa State. As a national trustee, I own a duty to see that the right thing is done. The common man is benefiting from this noble objective.
Also appointed was Ibrahim Babao as Northwest Financial Secretary. The Remi Tinubu Support Organization also enjoys the backing of state governors' wives who serve as the organization's matrons at state level. In Dutse, Awal Muhammad Kazauri, NTA News.
Use your newly acquired skills to create jobs, uplift the community and make a lasting impact. Well, that was the charge from Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu to over 5,000 graduates at the graduation and empowerment ceremony held for beneficiaries of the state's skills acquisition program. John Ken Akpapuya reports.
After weeks of intensive training across various trades, these more than 5,000 graduates of the Lagos State Skills Acquisition Program are now fully equipped to take on the world of entrepreneurship.
Since the inception of this administration, we have proudly produced over 34,000 graduates from our skills acquisition centers.
From vulcanizing to welding, catering to hairdressing, and photography to makeup artistry, these beneficiaries represent a new wave of job creators ready to drive grassroots economic growth.
Initially, my children just said I should go there to go and, just keep myself busy or something. But when I got there, I met a lot of opportunities there.
I'm so very happy for today.
Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, who presented the empowerment tools, said the training centers have become lifelines, offering real opportunities for economic independence and self-reliance.
Now you are going out to ensure that for you to compete and compete well, you must be able to design or you'll be able to bake something that you can sell. And so your pricing must make sense. It will not be that your first thing that you sell, you want to make all the profit from it.
Wife of the governor, Dr. Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu, described the graduates as symbols of determination, urging them to embrace continuous learning and uphold integrity in their enterprises.
As you take this bold step forward, remember that learning never stops. Continue to sharpen your skills, embrace new ideas, remain open to opportunities.
With this milestone, the Lagos State government reaffirms its commitment to equipping citizens with practical skills that promote self-reliance and sustainable livelihoods. In Lagos, Joy Ken Abapuya, NTA News.
And still on empowerment, the Kasuna State government is organizing a mindset restructuring workshop focusing on women entrepreneurs to provide a paradigm shift in entrepreneurship thinking. The initiative is designed to empower women with the necessary skills and thinking patterns to drive business innovation and sustainability. Awal Haliro reports.
For a successful business to flourish, one necessary ingredient is needed. It is not capital or environment, but mindset. Hundreds of women entrepreneurs are here learning first-hand information on business skills. the Mindset Restructuring Workshop, organized by the Kasuna State Enterprise Development Agency, is providing women entrepreneurs an avenue to acquire new skills, share experiences, and learn from experts in the field.
This program is prepared and designed not just to shape your businesses, but to lead them to make a difference. It is also not only designed to make you conversant with the changing world, but to conquer it.
Engaging in entrepreneurship, we're able to create opportunities that seem not to exist by turning problems into solutions and building sustainable businesses that will create jobs.
This initiative is part of a series of programs geared towards supporting women's economic empowerment and promoting entrepreneurship in the state to provide economic solutions. In Kasuna, Awal Halaru, NTA News.
The federal government is set to incorporate aquaculture into the irrigation scheme of the Hadejia Jama'ari River Basin Development Authority as part of efforts to diversify dam utilization and boost local fish production. Johannes Hassan Barau reports.
Nigeria currently spends about 1.2 billion annually on fish imports to meet local demand, a growing concern for the federal government. To reverse this trend, the Hadejia Jama'ari River Basin Development Authority is set to integrate aquaculture into its irrigation schemes, aiming to boost local fish production and reduce import dependency.
We have to help the government of Suwaju Bola Tinubu to see how we can now not only provide food, but also livestock. We have our dams, so we can use it for fishing.
Behind me is Tiga Dam, one of the largest dams in Nigeria, a cornerstone of irrigation agriculture across Kano and beyond. For decades, it has sustained farming communities under the Kano River Irrigation Project, turning dry lands into productive fields.
This year, we are going to develop more irrigable lands. We are going to desilt our irrigation canals, and where possible, we are going to create new water reservoirs for irrigation. I'm happy to say that people around this area are farming about 2 or 3 times in a year.
The authority is also expanding farmlands across Kano, Jigawa and Bauchi states and clearing invasive topographs to improve irrigation flow and increase productivity for thousands of farmers. In Kano, Johannes Hassan Barau, NTA News.
All right, and we'll begin a conversation that will be after the break on ways to sustain the prospects and, of course, address challenges in aquaculture production. Do stay tuned. Thank you for staying with us. And we have a guest in the studio, Mr. Mohammed Ibrahim. He is the chairman of Kado Fish Market Traders Association here in the Federal Capital Territory. And of course, we'll start a conversation on the prospects and challenges of aquaculture production in the country. Mr. Ibrahim, thank you for joining us on Panorama.
Thank you very much.
Let's start by assessing, the aspect of demand and supply of this culture production.
Well, fish demand is high, of course. If we take our minds back to 2003, that is 2003, when we have a fish summit in FCT, and that was attended by a lot of other countries from all over the world. And that summit, we all agree that the cheapest protein for now is fish. And for that...
Is it really cheap, Mr. Ibrahim?
Yes, it's cheap compared to beef and compared to most of the poultry products. You understand that fish is cheap. It's cheap.
Okay,
and
go ahead.
We all agree that, yes, fish is today the cheapest protein around. And for us to have that protein on our table, we must put certain structures and certain things on ground to be able to do it. And I think that was when the then government decided that they are going to ban fish importation. But what happened then was we don't have all those infrastructure on ground to ban fish importation, because at then it is only catfish we are producing. And I think today we have the ability to produce catfish and tilapia fish. Like all the other fish that we see in the market today are still being imported, and that takes chunk of our foreign exchange. Today the federal government has said we are going to ban fish. We want to increase production of fish. Yes, that was when I was here last time, I said there is a need for clusters all over the river basins we have in Nigeria that will increase production of fish. But as it is today, what we have are individual people who are producing fish without any government backing. In that case, what they are producing is not enough for us to be able to say we have arrived. Most of the fish we produce, especially that we consume in FCT today, are from the western part of the country, places like Ekiti, Oyo, Ilori, and the rest of them. But where we're supposed to produce fish, mostly, especially the catfish, are in the northern part of the country, where all the river basins are based. When we have clusters around those river basins, then we'll be able to produce more without putting more investment in it. Because those water will flow into those little ponds that we are going to have. Instead of having boreholes that we need electricity to generate those boreholes or to produce water for those ponds.
Okay, Mr. Ibrahim, if I'll come in there, it's good you mentioned investment. So if we're looking at investment to expand the horizon, which areas should we be looking at? What are your recommendations?
First, the entire system is capital intensive.
Yeah.
In the sense that first you will need a land, you will need the hatcheries production, you will need the feeds, you will need the labor in terms of labor and in terms of electricity. And productions of those products without the components like the sellers, the distributors, the sellers, and those who hold them, then it will be another wastage, because when you produce this massive catfish and you want to bring them to the market without the other components being followed, then we are still going to have wastage. So that is why if the federal government want to come in, then they have to give land to people to be able to do those things, just like what we have seen on your screen now, the Jigawa, and that is the Tiga Dam, what they are trying to do. That is by giving the local people land so that the water can flow into those farms so that they can produce more fish. But apart from that, then that means that you are going to give loans, small loans to farmers who are ready to go into agriculture. We had that during the last regime, but most of those monies went into the wrong hand. So if the government wants to come, well, they have to first of all take care of those land issues, take care of electricity, take care of security, because security is also very important. You cannot go and establish a fish pond or a fish farm. Then at the next day you are coming, you meet everything has either the bandits from the north or the localities from the south, or even in the south part of the country where we have the oil bunkering people, the oil will spray into those dams, into those fish ponds again, and you will have a loss. So the government needs strong policy to be able to say we need this. And they have to look at the type of fish they want to ban so that we'll be able to produce more, especially the catfish and the tilapia fish that already they are available in our markets.
Indeed, and the opportunity in the aquaculture is so much and yet fully untapped. We'll just continue to ensure, by doing this advocacy, to ensure that the right thing is done. Thank you very much, Mr. Mohammed Ibrahim.
Thank you very much.
And you're making my director and others, thirsty for fish, or hunger for fish, rather.
Please, they can visit us at Kado Fish Market if they want.
All right,
they will see a new revolution that is going on in Kado Fish Market today.
You're going to pay for that advert.
No, no, I'm just, because when we are talking of fish,
okay,
we must agree that...
Mr. Ibrahim, we have to leave the conversation there. I appreciate your passion. Thank you very much. My director said he will meet with you, so thank you. All right. Okay, so let's turn to other issues. And of course, when farmers, put in efforts, of course, of course, the inevitable flood can just come and wipe everything away. I'm talking about residents of Northern Senatorial District of Cross River State who are crying over devastating impact of flood, which has ravaged their farmlands, destroying livelihoods and, of course, property. Rosemary Oko visited some of these communities and now reports.
Torrential rains over the past few days and weeks have led to total destruction of properties and farmlands within several local government areas of Cross River State, leaving the people in sordid state as their means of livelihood were damaged. Some residential buildings were destroyed as they are groaning under the weight of colossal losses and total devastation inflicted by the relentless rains and flooding.
On Saturday, this flood set in. So when they told me, I was like maybe collapsing. I have like 6 hectares that I cultivated, all gone in the twinkle of an eye.
So this flood came into the farms and submerged the whole of the farmland that you see here. Everything you see here was rice. The rice was ready for harvest that would have been harvested with a minimum of 84 tons of rice per hectare. Here, all damaged to flood.
Residents are urgently appealing to the government for support to rebuild and provide assistance to help them regain their footing, enable them to return to their farms and prepare for the new planting season. In Abuja, Rosemary Oko, NTA News.
And next will be sports update.
Will depart for Santiago, Chile to participate in the highly anticipated World Para-Powerlifting Championship kicking off on Monday. The squad made up of the country's top para-powerlifters is poised to represent Nigeria with pride and determination, seeking to reinforce the nation's reputation as a global powerhouse in the sport. Backed by a history of outstanding performances, the athletes are ready to demonstrate their strength, skill, and unwavering resilience against the world elite competitors. Some football enthusiasts have expressed optimism that the Super Eagles B team will defeat Sudan and Congo to secure a place in the knockout stage of the ongoing CAF Championship, jointly hosted by Tanzania, Kenya, and Uganda. The Eagles B team, who lost their opening Group D match to Senegal, will now face Sudan and Congo in their remaining group fixtures.
It's also important in football. No matter how good you play, if you don't score, you never win. So this, I think, is very key. If we score, even if it is one, we are definitely going to take the day.
If you lose against Sudan, then count yourself out of the tournament. But for me, I know this is Nigeria, we have the spirit. And with the couple of what Mr. President is doing right now, maybe that will ginger them, because I know winning this tournament, I know what is waiting for them in Abuja.
Crystal Palace began their new season with familiar sense of triumph, lifting another trophy as underdogs on the grand stage of Wembley. The FA Cup holders turned Premier League champions Liverpool, winning 3-2 on penalties after a thrilling 2-2 draw to claim the Community Shield on Sunday. In doing so, they became the first team in 50 years since Derby County in 1975 to win the Community Shield on their debut appearance. Nigeria's men's basketball team, the Tigers, have landed in Angola ahead of the 2025 Men's Afro-Basket Championship, set for August 12 to 24. The team is targeting a second continental crown 10 years after clinching their maiden title in 2015. Drawn in Group B, the Tigers will face Tunisia, Cameroon, and Madagascar in the preliminary stage. And lastly, another Japanese boxer, Hiromusa Urakawa, has died from a brain injury suffered at an event in Tokyo. The 28-year-old died on Saturday after he was beaten bare knockout in the 8th round of his fight with Yoji Saito on the 2nd of August. It follows the death of Shigetoshi Kotari on Friday from injuries sustained during a separate bout on the same card, with both boxers having undergone surgery, a condition where blood collects between the skull and the brain. Urakawa is the third high-profile boxer to die in 2025 after Irishman John Cooney passed away in February following a fight in Belfast. For Sport Update, Amazongo and TNU.
And that concludes Panorama. Thank you for your time. Do have a lovely day ahead. I'm Ruth. Aguilera.